a farmer who just would not give up, digging in his field in Michigan when, turns out, he found a window back to the Ice Age archaeological treasure.
From ancient relics to unexpected treasures, the earth beneath our feet holds untold stories waiting to be discovered. In this exploration of underground finds, what mysteries lie buried beneath, waiting to be uncovered next? Let's delve into the thrilling world of discoveries made while digging. Meanwhile, this farmer in Michigan was digging in a field when he unearthed something shocking: Enigmalith. In 1998, electrical engineer John Williams stumbled upon a mysterious object while hiking in North America. Emerging from the ground was what appeared to be an electrical connector, an odd sight considering its remote location far from any human settlements or industrial sites. Intrigued, Williams dug deeper and unearthed a device embedded in solid granite, a triple plug. This discovery, now known as the P-Trex, has sparked significant interest and skepticism alike. Williams has kept the exact location of his find secret, which has fueled doubts about its authenticity. Despite this, he has offered the P-Trex for analysis, although only a few researchers have taken up the challenge. Geological tests indicate that the rock surrounding the component is at least 100,000 years old, challenging conventional understanding of technological history. X-ray examinations have revealed an opaque internal structure, and the component itself shows no signs of being artificially affixed to the rock, no glue or welding marks. It even exhibits weak magnetic properties and high impedance between its pins, similar to an electronic connector. John believes the P-Trex is a genuine artifact from an advanced ancient civilization, or possibly of extraterrestrial origin. Both theories are highly intriguing and have generated considerable excitement. He has made it clear that he is open to allowing researchers to authenticate the artifact, under the condition that the rock remains intact during analysis. If proven authentic, the P-Trex could profoundly alter our understanding of human history and technological capabilities. Black Sarcophagus. It might seem like we've uncovered all there is to know about ancient Egypt, yet intriguing discoveries still emerge from time to time. Recently, in Alexandria, Egypt, archaeologists stumbled upon a colossal black granite sarcophagus that had remained undisturbed for over 2 millennia. Speculation ran wild, suggesting it could contain the remains of Alexander the Great, or perhaps conceal a deadly curse. Upon finally opening the sarcophagus, which initially emitted a noxious stench, archaeologists found 3 skeletons submerged in reddish-brown sewage-like water. Attempts to lift the lid were initially futile due to the overpowering odor, requiring military engineers to assist. Inside, the remains were identified as belonging to ancient Egyptian army officers, their bones the only remnants of what must have been a family burial. Mustafa Waziri, Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, reassured the public that no curse had been unleashed, dispelling fears of supernatural harm. Concerns over potential toxic fumes led to precautions, though experts dismissed the notion of a mummy's curse causing danger. Remarkably, the sarcophagus, measuring nearly 6.5 feet in height, approximately 10 feet in length, and weighing 27 tons, stands as the largest of its kind ever found intact. Further studies are underway to determine the identities and circumstances surrounding the individual's deaths. Remains of ancient Roman house. While conducting routine excavations underneath the city streets, officials in Izmir, Turkey, uncovered a surprising find. A hidden hole revealed an ancient Roman column. This residence, once belonging to a wealthy family during the early Roman era, is gradually revealing its architectural intricacies. However, the excavations were unauthorized, leading to the detention of 3 suspects by the police involved in the dig. Izmir's recent archaeological finds are impressive, and it includes a nearly 2,000-year-old amphitheater and a communal latrine believed to have been used by actors. Additionally, a settlement dating back to 2000 BC was unearthed, indicating the area's importance as a trading hub during the Bronze Age. Further discoveries included 2,500-year-old mourning masks worn by Ionian women to symbolize grief for their fallen warrior husbands. As excavation efforts continue, Izmir continues to unveil treasures from its ancient past, underscoring its rich historical and cultural significance. Dinosaur Tale. In northern Mexico, paleontologists made a discovery underground, a giant dinosaur tail measuring about 16 feet long and containing 50 vertebrae. The well-preserved tail likely belonged to a hadrosaur, a duck-billed dinosaur that roamed the Earth approximately 72 million years ago. Hadrosaurs could grow to about 40 feet in length, meaning this tail constituted nearly half of the dinosaur's body. Discovered buried in sedimentary rock in Coahuila's desert region by local residents, this is surprisingly the first intact dinosaur tail of this size found in Mexico, and one of only a few discovered worldwide. In 2008, another hadrosaur named Broncohuilensis was found in Coahuila, indicating these dinosaurs were prevalent in the area. Paleontologists from the Mexican National Institute for Anthropology and History and the National Autonomous University of Mexico began their excavation after a year of surveying. Alongside the tail vertebrae, they discovered other bones, including a hip bone, suggesting that more remains might lie deeper within the rock. The excavation area was expanded to 13 feet by 26 feet to accommodate the sprawling bones. Gold coins. In February 2013, a couple in Northern California shared a memorable experience while walking their dog on their property. They stumbled upon a stunning discovery: $10 million worth of rare gold coins buried underground, nestled in the shadow of an old tree. These 1,427 coins, dating from 1847 to 1894, were found in mint condition, with some so rare they could fetch nearly $1 million each. It's the kind of treasure that every child dreams of finding, and that some adults spend their entire lives searching for. Experts believe the coins were buried as a form of makeshift bank during the California Gold Rush era, and then forgotten. David Hall from the professional coin grading service authenticated the find, hailing it as one of the greatest buried treasures ever discovered in the United States. The couple, who wished to remain anonymous, discovered the coins in 8 cans along a trail they had walked for years. Their plans include selling most of the coins through Amazon, keeping a few as keepsakes, and using the money to pay off bills and donate to local charities. Fallout shelter from the Cold War discovered in the backyard. John Sims encountered an unexpected surprise 2016 when he purchased his Midtown home from a friend. He found a Cold War relic, possibly a buried bomb shelter, concealed somewhere in his backyard. Using city records and a metal detector, Sims located the shelter, constructed from concrete with a fiberglass dome. When he descended into it, he found it empty, devoid of furniture or supplies. According to building records, this shelter was constructed by Whitaker Pools in 1961, but its existence had been a mystery to the previous owner for over 5 decades. Unbothered by the scorching summer temperatures, Sims began his quest to unearth the hidden underground sanctuary shortly after moving in. Despite digging several shallow holes, he initially found nothing substantial, fearing the shelter might be buried under a bricked-in section of the yard or had collapsed. His persistence eventually paid off when Sims discovered the shelter's entrance with a bit more digging. As a captain with the Rural Metro Fire Department, Sims had the expertise to handle such situations. He cautiously removed the heavy metal hatch, but waited a day before descending the spiral staircase. With his training in confined space rescues, he meticulously tested the air for mold and ensured he had support nearby in case of emergency. Sims explained that due to his extensive knowledge of confined spaces and being alone at home, he emphasized the need for caution. He noted that if the lid were to fall back in, he wouldn't have been able to lift it from underneath. Inside, Sims found a modest bomb shelter with a fiberglass dome filled with debris and rubble. Sims reflected that he had hoped the shelter would resemble a time capsule, complete with civil defense supplies such as radiation detectors, cots, and everything else. The first order of business was repairing the spiral staircase and seeking advice from engineers and contractors on how to restore the structure. Sims even started a search for vintage civil defense items like water jugs to furnish the shelter. Once restored, Sims planned to spend at least 1 night in the shelter, looking forward to its cool, consistent temperature of around 72 degrees. According to Sims, Whitaker Pools built several similar bomb shelters in Tucson during the 1960s, spurred by the tensions of the Cuban Missile Crisis. For homeowners curious about whether they have a bomb shelter in their backyard, Sims suggests starting with property disclosures and checking with local authorities in Tucson or Pima County for information. Sims advised that before embarking on any excavation in your yard, such as digging for a pool, it's essential to review the property disclosures. He he cautioned against rushing into anything, emphasizing the potential risks of jumping into unknown holes in the ground. Sims's discovery sparked significant interest online, generating hundreds of comments and page views. For now, he spends his days planning and designing the future of his bomb shelter, envisioning it fully restored and stocked with nostalgic civil defense memorabilia. Huge dinosaur skeleton. In an ordinary garden in Portugal, what may be the largest dinosaur remains ever found in Europe was unearthed. In 2017, excavation began after the property owner discovered fossilized bone fragments and promptly alerted researchers from the University of Lisbon. Subsequently, Spanish and Portuguese paleontologists uncovered vertebrae and ribs believed to belong to a Brachiosaurus sauropod, one of the largest dinosaurs ever known to have walked the Earth. This find is particularly intriguing because it's rare to uncover such a complete set of ribs in their original anatomical position. Sauropods like Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus were massive herbivores with long necks and walked on 4 legs. The sheer size of the bones suggests that this dinosaur stood approximately 40 feet tall and stretched about 80 feet in length. The skeleton was found in Upper Jurassic sedimentary rocks, indicating an age of approximately 150 million years. This discovery highlights the rich fossil record of late Jurassic vertebrates in the Pombal region, offering valuable insights into the fauna of the Iberian Peninsula during that era. Creepy, skull-like stones. As Emily Hoffman unpacked in her new Seattle home, she noticed something unusual through the window. A set of eerie structures partially submerged in the lawn. Taking to social media, Hoffman quickly recorded and shared the chilling scene with her followers. In the footage, she explained that they had just signed the lease for the house, which was great because having a house with a backyard was awesome. She mentioned looking out her window and feeling startled by the rocks that resembled skulls, expressing her surprise and uncertainty about their appearance. The footage quickly gained traction, accumulating nearly 1.5 million views within days. Initially spooked by their appearance, Emily considered various scenarios until she ventured outside for a closer inspection. To her relief, she discovered that the skull-like shapes were actually concrete stones arranged intentionally. Further investigation revealed that the previous tenant had placed these stones as practical stepping stones to prevent the backyard from becoming muddy during heavy rainfall. In response to the viral footage, the former tenant mentioned that their fiancé had crafted the skull-shaped structures from cement. They had placed these structures as stepping stones in the backyard to prevent it from becoming muddy during heavy rainfall. They expressed both apologies and gratitude, explaining how standing on the skulls helped keep them above the waterlogged ground. Despite their creepy first impression, Emily decided to keep the skull stones. She even joked about naming them and shared her plans to repair some of the deteriorating ones. The mystery behind the skull stones was quickly solved thanks to the power of social media, much to Emily's amusement and relief. As she continued to share updates, including plans for repairs and naming them, the quirky backyard addition became a highlight of her new home story. Sub-Cyber's Pick. This farmer in Michigan was digging in a field when he unearthed something shocking. In a serene spot within his wheat field in Chelsea, Michigan, farmer James Brissell and his neighbor were digging a trench for a drainage pipe in his wheat field near Chelsea, Michigan. As their backhoe dug deeper, about 8 feet down, it unexpectedly struck a hard object. Initially mistaking it for buried wood, possibly a fence post, they soon realized it was something far more extraordinary, a massive 3-foot-long bone. Brissell recalled that they weren't certain about the object's identity, noting it was noticeably larger than anything they had encountered. Intrigued by the prospect that it might be a dinosaur bone, he promptly contacted the University of Michigan Museum of Paleontology, which happened to be located a mere 10 miles from his farm. Daniel Fisher, a professor who also directs the University of Michigan Museum of Paleontology, arrived at Brissell's farm aided by 2 local excavators and began digging a 10-foot-deep pit. They worked swiftly and soon uncovered the remains of a prehistoric mammoth on Brissell's farm. Throughout the day, curious locals gathered as news of the discovery spread. By sunset, the crew had excavated about 20% of the mammoth's bones without stopping to rest. Using zip lines attached to a backhoe, they carefully lifted the mammoth's enormous skull, tusks, and other bones onto a flatbed trailer before filling in the pit. mammoths once roamed North America, but disappeared around 11,700 years ago. Before this find, only about 30 mammoths had been discovered in Michigan, with fewer than 5 skeletons as complete as the one at Bristol's farm. The remains, likely from an adult male mammoth aged between 11,700 years and 15,000 years, showed signs of being a Jeffersonian mammoth. Fisher noted compelling evidence of human activity associated with the mammoth, suggesting ancient humans may have butchered the animal and submerged its carcass in a pond for preservation. Bristol generously agreed to donate the mammoth's bones to the University of Michigan for further study, which could potentially push back the known history of Southeast Michigan's habitation. The bones will be meticulously cleaned and examined for cut marks that could confirm human consumption. Fisher hopes to display the specimen, dubbed the Bristle Mammoth in honor of the farmer, at the University of Michigan Museum of Natural History, possibly as part of a complete skeleton including fiberglass casts from other Michigan mammoths. Fisher stated that the mammoth belonged to everyone, not just himself, explaining his decision to donate it. Despite being excited about the discovery, he expressed relief that a similar event was unlikely to happen again, as he and his team had farming duties to attend to. What will you do if you stumbled upon such a significant piece of history in your backyard? Share with us in the comments. Fully safe house. A disturbing video surfaced, showing a man discovering what appears to be a fully functional safe house hidden deep underground beneath a working factory. It remains unclear if the bunker is currently inhabited, but the footage suggests recent human activity, with neatly hung jackets on coat hooks. The YouTuber uploaded the footage to his channel, documenting his exploration of the safe house accessed through a small bolted door. He described it as seeming abandoned, but noted it had electricity and ventilation. While he was walking through the factory's industrial area, he mentioned noticing a peculiar concrete block with a metal gate. He said he decided to open it, and then climbed down a ladder into a dark, narrow tunnel that led to an underground bomb shelter safe house. The eerie atmosphere of the bunker left viewers unsettled. Comments on his channel reflect a mix of fascination and unease, with one user joking about the nerve-wracking experience of sneezing in such a place. Another admitted feeling uncomfortable due to the creepy ambiance and apparent abandonment, especially when watching the video before bedtime. Meanwhile, another YouTuber also made waves by exploring a series of doomsday bunkers in a remote part of South Dakota. These bunkers, priced between $45,000 and $55,000 each, offer surprisingly cozy interiors, despite their initial stark appearance. The YouTuber and his team thoroughly examined several bunkers, showcasing their potential for comfortable living in extreme circumstances. From metallic bunk beds to customizable living spaces. The Hidden Treasure Vault. Matthew and Maria Emanuel of Staten Island, New York, stumbled upon an extraordinary stroke of luck while planting new trees in their backyard. As they dug into the soil, their shovels struck something unexpected, a weathered, decaying metal box buried beneath the earth. Intrigued, they unearthed it, and to their astonishment, it held a treasure trove worth $22,000. Among its contents were gold, diamonds, jade, and bundles of damp $100 bills. The couple, who had lived in their home for 4 years without any inkling of the hidden treasure, were thrilled beyond belief. For them, it felt like a childhood dream come true. However, the story took a surprising turn when it was later revealed that the contents of the safe had been stolen from their neighbors 7 years earlier in a burglary reported to the New York Police Department. Inside the safe, the Emanuels discovered an address that led them to trace the rightful owners of the stolen property. Despite the immense value of the treasure, the Emanuels made the heartfelt decision to return it to its original owners. Many questioned their choice, but the Emanuels firmly believed it was the right thing to do, emphasizing that the treasure did not rightfully belong to them. In place of where the safe had been buried, the Emanuels placed a white elephant statue as a symbolic gesture. Ancient Viking burial site. In Oslo, a stunning discovery was made during the building of a new residence, as archaeologists unearthed a Viking burial site overflowing with valuable artifacts and historical riches. This ancient burial site unveiled artifacts such as a shield, a cape buckle, and a variety of other objects that provide a vivid glimpse into the past. Nestled on a prominent hill with breathtaking views, the site was once a valley traversed by the Holland Becken stream during ancient times. Among the remarkable discoveries were fragments of a soapstone vessel, a penannular brooch dating back to around 850 AD, 2 knives, horse tack, and a shield boss. The presence of the penannular brooch, a distinctive artifact, played a pivotal role in pinpointing the grave's Viking Age origins. This significant discovery highlights Oslo's deep Viking heritage, enriching the city's archaeological narrative. The artifacts, currently housed at the Museum of Cultural History for detailed analysis, initially indicate that the buried individual was likely male, inferred from the types of items unearthed. Couples find whiskey stash. During their renovation of a historic over 100-year-old home in Ames, New York, Nick Drummond and Patrick Beer stumbled upon a captivating piece of history, rumored to be connected to a bootlegger. They discovered over 66 bottles of Prohibition-era whiskey hidden within the walls and floorboards. Nick, a designer and historic preservationist, made the unexpected find while removing outside skirting in the mudroom. A mysterious package fell out, revealing a stash of whiskey bottles wrapped in tissue paper and straw. Further exploration led to the discovery of more bundles of smuggled whiskey, shedding light on the home's intriguing past. The bottles, labeled Old Smuggler, were part of a legacy left behind by the home's original owner, Count Adolf Humpfer, a mysterious figure known for his involvement in numerous scandals. Nick's social media posts documenting the find have garnered attention, with followers eager to delve deeper into the home's history. The couple plans to preserve the empty bottles found and intends to sell the full ones, each estimated to be worth around $1,000. 2,000-year-old Roman villa. While laying an electricity cable in his barn, Luke Irwin uncovered an intricately designed mosaic underground. This coincidental find led to a collaborative effort with archaeologists from historic England and the Salisbury Museum to excavate the site further. What they unearthed was awe-inspiring. A grand Roman building with a 3-story structure. The villa, believed to have housed a family of high status and wealth, provided a glimpse into luxurious Roman living. Among the artifacts discovered were hundreds of oyster shells, high-status pottery, coins, brooches, and remains of wild animals that were likely hunted for food. This discovery holds particular significance as it sheds light on Roman life in Britain and suggests that the villa may have been the residence of someone of significant stature, possibly even a Roman emperor. Luke, a designer and historic preservationist, expressed his astonishment at the find, highlighting its rarity and immense historical value. The excavation of the villa has been hailed as one of the most important archaeological discoveries in recent years, capturing the imagination of historians and enthusiasts alike, as it enriches our understanding of Roman presence and influence in ancient Britain. Serendipity Sapphire. In an astonishing turn of events, workers excavating a well in the backyard of a Sri Lankan residence stumbled upon a colossal cluster of sapphires. This breathtaking find, estimated to be worth a staggering $100 million, consisted of a single sapphire cluster weighing an astounding 2.5 million carats. Located in Ratnapura, renowned globally as the gem capital, this discovery has made headlines worldwide. The property belonged to a third-generation gem trader, Mr. Gamage, whose keen eye for gems led to the unearthing of this historic find. Upon realizing the magnitude of their discovery, Mr. Gamage promptly notified authorities, setting off a meticulous year-long process of cleaning and certification. Experts, including distinguished geologist Dr. Gamini Zoysa, were left awestruck by the sapphire cluster, speculating that it formed nearly 4 million years ago. This particular specimen, now dubbed the Serendipity Sapphire, holds the distinction of being the largest sapphire cluster ever unearthed. Notably, it features a rare star sapphire, distinguished by its unique optical phenomenon. Anticipation swirls within the gem community as this extraordinary find is expected to attract significant interest from private collectors and museums alike. Its size, rarity, and historical significance make the Serendipity Sapphire a true marvel of natural wonder and human discovery. 132-year-old tunnel. A discovery came to light at Mumbai's government hospital, a forgotten tunnel dating back 132 years. Situated beneath one of its medical wards, this 656-foot passage, originally constructed during the British era, was unearthed by hospital staff during routine inspections for water leakage. Dr. Aaron Rathod, the hospital's resident medical officer, detailed the find, explaining that engineers and security guards stumbled upon the tunnel, which had been sealed at one end. This historic structure was once part of the Dinshaw Maniki Pettit Hospital for Women and Children, later repurposed into a nursing college. The building itself holds significant heritage, its foundation stone laid by Lord Ray, then Governor of Bombay, in January 1890. Designed by architectural executive John Adams, it was inaugurated on March 15, 1892. Upon discovery, Dr. Pallavi Sapphire promptly informed authorities, including the Mumbai Collector and Maharashtra's Archaeology Department, due to the building's protected status. Dr. Aaron, who conducted an inspection of the tunnel, described it as approximately 4.5 feet high, supported by brick pillars. Accessible through a sealed ventilation duct measuring 3 feet by 3 feet, the entrance was blocked by a stone wall. Interestingly, former hospital employees suggested that a nearby British-era building might also harbor a similar underground structure, possibly interconnected by tunnels. The purpose behind the construction of this tunnel remains a mystery, adding to the intrigue surrounding this unexpected glimpse into Mumbai's historical past. Wartime motorcycle. Peter Dell, a resident of Rayate Sur, found himself embroiled in an unexpected discovery while assisting his neighbor with an ant problem in their backyard. As he dug into the earth, intending to address the ant nest issue, Peter unearthed a buried motorcycle frame that he suspects dates back to the wartime era. This startling find immediately triggered a memory from years ago, when Peter had a conversation with a stranger who had inquired about a motorcycle potentially buried in or near a well on the property. The stranger, hailing from Hampshire, had mentioned that the bike was buried shortly after World War II. At the time of their conversation, Peter hadn't given much thought to it. But now, faced with this discovery, he believed he had stumbled upon the very motorcycle in question. Eager to uncover more about the mysterious man who had sparked this interest years ago, Peter is keen to trace his steps and solve the puzzle surrounding the buried machine. Abandoned well. For 25 years, Brian Day lived unknowingly with a potentially perilous secret lurking in his backyard, a deep 50-foot well-drilled way back in 1928. It wasn't until a small depression appeared on his South Edmonton lawn that Brian became aware of the well's existence. Concerned about its depth, he decided to investigate, only to uncover a sizable hole hidden beneath the sod. Realizing the potential danger this well posed, Brian wasted no time in taking action. It took approximately 212 cubic feet of concrete and just a few minutes to fill the old water well completely. Brian was struck by how swiftly the void was filled, bringing him immense relief, knowing that he had safeguarded his family and pets from an unseen hazard. Despite the well being inaccurately mapped elsewhere, provincial legislation held Brian accountable for its closure. Reflecting on his experience, Brian hopes that his story will serve as a reminder for others to be vigilant about checking for abandoned wells on their properties. These overlooked relics of the past can present serious risks if left unfilled, a lesson Brian hopes to share for the sake of community safety. Mystery car. In an unexpected twist in Silicon Valley, a long-buried car mystery has finally been unearthed. Landscapers in Aon made an astonishing discovery: a convertible Mercedes-Benz buried in a backyard among unused bags of concrete. The car had been concealed there for approximately 30 years. Imagine their shock when cadaver dogs initially detected faint traces of possible human remains nearby. However, after an extensive excavation and thorough examination, no remains were found. The buried Benz was located 4 to 5 feet underground, likely buried during the 1990s. Once unearthed, it was promptly transported to a crime lab for further investigation. Despite using ground-penetrating radar scans that revealed nothing suspicious, the mystery surrounding this buried treasure deepened. The car's intriguing backstory adds layers to the puzzle. Reported stolen in 1992, the car's owner is presumed deceased, pending confirmation from DMV records. Speculation has linked the buried Benz to Johnny Liu, who built and resided in the mansion during the 90s. Johnny was no ordinary figure. He had a notorious past that included convictions for murder, attempted murder, and even an arrest for insurance fraud. His colorful history included an audacious attempt to sink a yacht for insurance money. Johnny passed away in 2015, a year after his family sold the house where the buried car was found. Jeweled ring. Imagine a peaceful summer afternoon in Alberta, Canada. Mary Grams was in her garden, surrounded by serene ambiance. Suddenly, she experienced the heart-wrenching feeling as her beloved diamond ring slipped from her finger. For 13 years, she held on to this secret, sharing it only with her son, the weight of embarrassment heavy on her heart. In an attempt to fill the void left by the lost ring, Mary quietly acquired a replacement, hoping to bury the memory as deep as the roots of her plants. But fate had other plans. A seemingly ordinary day turned extraordinary when her daughter-in-law, Colleen Daly, uncovered a remarkable discovery while harvesting vegetables on the family farm. There, entwined in the roots of a carrot, was Mary's long-lost ring, snugly ensconced, as if protected by the earth itself. When Mary received the call from her son, pure elation washed over her. Yet amidst the joy, a pang of regret surfaced. She couldn't help but reflect on how her late husband would have found the tale amusing had she shared it with him. With the ring back on her finger, Mary's determination solidified. She vowed to safeguard it more diligently, having learned a lesson etched deep within her heart. This time, she promised herself, the ring would find its safe haven in a place worthy of its enduring significance. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.